Hi there, I am Adam Kirbas. This is another episode of my podcast. We are still in the pandemic. It is a cloudy day here in Ordu in the Black Sea region in Turkey. I hope that you all go through this pandemic as well as through these floods and fires and everything which we are plagued with right now, that you somehow can overcome this and can go through it, survive it, because I think in our time all is about survival. However, we will continue where we left off the last time. We talked about how to create tension, and this is of course, this had to do with my screenwritings, with my screenplays, Invert and Lifesaver, and I talked about the process, about writing, and then of course one major issue is and was there is how you can make or create tension, because this is very important. You want to some sort of grab the viewers, grab the attention, and then I compared the evolution of crime or crime TV shows like Columbo, which was back in the 80s, 90s, very popular, and then of course with the beginning of CSI, where you actually do not know who the murder is, but some sort of through scientific analysis you more and more become or follow those crime investigators, and then finally you reach a conclusion, a result. Of course, if you only watch CSI and so on, then it is not really interesting who did it. I mean, even the motive is pretty much in the background. If you only watch CSI, it is really about how you can kill someone, or in a way how was crime committed, whereas if you only compare this to Columbo, and in the past this was way more subjective. There you had a clear connection between the person who committed the crime and what crime was committed, and then through Columbo then you try to find out why, or especially the motive. This is very important. So why did something, and this was of course created through tension as well. I mean, as well as we talked about horror movies. I mean, if you only watch some horror movies like Scream or Jason or whatever. I mean, again, I did not watch a lot of horror movies. Well, I don't like the genre and so on, but one thing, of course, is in horror movies that you are in a constant threat, so you some sort of feel this threat, or this threat is pretty much vivid, especially in Scream, in the first movie of this trilogy. There in the first movie, then you see, I mean, the murderer with these masks. He could be everywhere. He could be in your home, and mostly he is in your home, or mostly all those people are being attacked in their homes and so on. So this has another edge of thrill, because this is your home. This is your place where you actually should feel yourself secured, and then murders on the loose. You could be next, behind every corner. Someone is waiting, and so this again. If you watch it, this some sort of is tension and builds up tension. And of course, and this is how we can, and this is especially in horror movies where you some sort of take away information, show less information. This is what we talked about in Jaws. In Jaws with Steven Spielberg and so on. So you do not see the monster very often, but you somehow anticipate it. You think this monster is around, and this then really fills you with fear, with dread, and so on. So knowledge is a big issue, and as well as in horror movies, I mean, you pretty much ask yourself later why this is happening and so on, but rather that you are being hunted, that you are being pursued and so on, and you don't have much information. So it is the holding back of information which then creates tension, excitement, thrill, and you can see this as well as in other TV shows as well. So for even in TV shows which might not have something to do with crime or with horror, but this withholding of information, you don't know what's gonna happen or what will happen in it. This is actually one key ingredient or to create tension. Of course, it is not very easy to create tension because everyone says, but one thing, and this is what I talked about the last time as well, I mean, this is pretty much of structure, especially in the crime genre. There is a lot of stuff which has been already written about crime. So, I mean, if you want to see, this is almost libraries. Not almost, but for a fact, you can fill libraries with all these crime novels. So there is a lot of stuff. So, and in this area, pretty much probably it will be very difficult to create new one and so on. But however, I mean, you can always be ingenious. But one thing, of course, is that you, in a way, can create tension, which is not expected in that way. This is, for example, in Game of Thrones. This was fantasy, and there you could see, I mean, all those peoples died, and you somehow did not expect it, that you thought everything would be fine and so on, and this made pretty much the excitement and thrill of this series as well. So that things are not unexpected, and this of course depends a lot with structure, depends a lot from how you approach these things and so on, of course. And this is what we will talk about today. Is, of course, I mean, if you write about something, if someone watches this, I mean, this is what you always feel. If you read a book, if you watch a movie, you somehow sort of, in a way, always feel compassion, and you could say for this character, or you could say that you have interest in this character. For example, I mean, we talked about Bruce Wayne. I mean, Bruce Wayne, he's very wealthy, and in our time where wealthy people have a very bad reputation, you would rather assume that people would not feel compassion for Bruce Wayne. I mean, his struggles and so on. But then you see, okay, he lost his parents, he lost everything, he lost the balance of his life. He seeks meaning, and this is where you then more and more realize and understand, okay, this is someone I can associate with, this is someone I can live with, and so on. This is as well as you see this in Game of Thrones with the characters of Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen. I mean, with Jon Snow, I mean, he's this bastard. He's not loved by his foster mother and his father. I mean, of course, spoiler alert. Later, we realize and know that Jon Snow is a Targaryen and so on. However, but in the beginning, we don't know this, and then he some sort of abandons life and joins the Night Watch. We somehow did not assume it. Or he has all his life, and ahead of him, he's not part of him. So he's not really part of the family. He's a bastard. He's an outcast, and this then leads to, in a way, that we feel compassion for him, despite the fact that, not despite the fact, but he's just not a part of it, and so so we, in a way, associate with him, and this is especially in our time where this, it is partially as well as a very mood among teenagers, but as well as in our time where people think they are outcasted, where people think that they cannot belong, and so on, and things become even more vile, if you want, because it is not his own doing. So Jon Snow, he does not, or he doesn't know anything about it, as well as he did not choose this life. So this is one thing, we can have some sort of compassion for someone there. Same is for Daenerys Targaryen as well. I mean, she's this woman, this former glory. She's always partly divine. This is all about being divine, being regal. However, she's been sold off by her evil brother, who doesn't really take care about her, or like a normal brother should be. And then she's sold off, but then her husband and love, with whom she some sort of rediscovers life, then he dies, falls off the horse, then he's been bewitched, he loses her child. This is all those tragedies which makes someone human, and then you somehow can feel compassion for this person, for his plight, and so on. So, and this is especially with people who don't seem to be fortunate, with people who don't really have everything at all. I mean, this is what you can witness at Game of Thrones as well, with some characters you don't feel compassion at all, but this is of course all on purpose, because you should rather feel a compassion and love for those characters who are pretty much, if you want, stemming the narration, who are very important for the plot line. So and especially in Game of Thrones, you always see those two extremes, in a way, with Jon Snow up in the north, and with Daenerys, then she is somewhere in the desert. She struggles to survive. I mean, she has a family. She rediscovers a family, but then she loses all. And then Jon Snow on the wall, she's some sort of is a brother of the Night Watch, and he makes new family with these people with whom he's around, and so on. This further contributes then to some sort of creating a new family, a new belonging, and so on. This is